We're now entering the days of thunder. That's how insiders are describing the second Trump term. The greatest comeback in political history is just getting started. A little while ago, corporate America saw Trump as toxic, but now MAGA is the hottest brand in town. Just this week, Trump received the highest award a president can get, the first ever presidential commemorative can of Diet Coke. Get ready for McDonald's Big Mac and Chief. Companies want to be associated with Trump, and they want you to know it. The stigma of a Trump donation, which was out there to some degree 8 years ago, is no longer there. Who knows what's going to happen 2 months from now, but for today, up and down, corporate America is solidly pro-Trump. The biggest brands in America, look at these right here, each donated $1 million large. One lobbyist said everyone's trying to kiss the ring and curry favor. We're hopeful this new administration will be friendlier than the previous one. Trump's not running for re-election, so he can use the money for anything from his library to making sure Republicans keep the House. He could even use some of it to pay off Kamala's debt, if he's so inclined. One Trump advisor told Axios, the money is just pouring in at Mar-a-Lago. Trump doesn't have to lift a finger. Everyone's coming to him. Sure, Trump will cash the check, but that doesn't mean he owes you anything. The president was overheard telling an executive this, quote, you guys made this amount of money last year, and you're going to make so much more now because of me. But when I needed you, where the F were you? You weren't with me, and maybe you were with her. A big part of Trump's second term is making sure America's on the cutting edge. 5 tech titans are getting positions of honor on Trump's inauguration stage. Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, TikTok CEO, and the biggest name in AI, Sam Altman. One official said, I think the message it sends is, first, the importance of free speech, and then that these are all huge job creators in this country, and they're going to be a big part of where this president goes in the second term. These guys all used to be in Biden's corner. Now they're America's first.
4 years ago, the Democratic Party had the White House, it had the Senate, it had the House, it had the popular vote, and it had Silicon Valley on its side. Over the past 4 years, the Democratic Party has lost the House, lost the Senate, lost the White House, lost the popular vote, and now has lost Silicon Valley, which means the billionaires are on the other side of the table.
Biden's pretty bitter about the tech turncoats. Listen.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
The big guy has a point about how powerful big tech is. They crush their competition. They can censor speech and use their deep pockets and influence to sway elections. We can't blindly trust them because they can switch right back. But why would Biden wait until his farewell address to warn us about them? If Kamala won, he wouldn't have warned us about anything. Biden doesn't care about a tech oligarchy. He doesn't even know what it means. But he does understand revenge. Democrats had big tech in their pocket since the Obama years, using them to cancel Trump, Deep Six the laptop, and buy off the battlegrounds. You weren't even allowed to crack Fauci jokes on their platforms. But after Biden bombed at the debate and they cut off donations and opened the door for Pelosi to plunge the knife, are these guys loyal? Are they legit? Or do they just want to be in bed with the winning team? Musk has a little more street cred than the others because he stuck his neck out when there was risk. But I don't know about the rest of this crew. Maybe they're libertarians, maybe they're libs, maybe they're imperialists. What do I know? But I do know Biden wants blood. He's declaring a war on the tech industrial complex and using it as a rallying cry for the new resistance. He's telling his party to ditch DEI and wage class warfare against the tech giants.
I almost saw this speech as an attempt to wrestle back the mantle of populism from the Republicans. Donald Trump has run a populist campaign, and that's a lot. He's the outsider. And what Joe Biden last night did was quite interesting. Almost try to reclaim populism for the Democratic Party.
Spending a decade calling Trump Hitler blew up in the Democrats' faces. They lost their base, donors, and the plot.
The Democrats have come to the end of a 9-year messaging program during which they woke up every single day and told America and the world that Donald Trump was a bad guy because he's an authoritarian, he's a racist, he's a sexual predator, he's a fascist, he's all these horrible things that they say about him. And what was the end result? He won. He got elected to the presidency again. This has got to be regarded as the greatest communication failure in the history of world politics, a 9-year campaign that failed.
So Biden's trying to rebrand Democrats as a party for the people, but actions speak louder than words.
You got three people on top, Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mr. Zuckerberg, who are now worth almost $1 trillion. Would you agree with President Biden, who last night stated, and I quote, "An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that threatens our entire democracy"?
The three billionaires who you listed that all made the money themselves. Mr. Musk came to the country as an immigrant.
Forget how they made their money. Do you think that when so few people have so much wealth and so much economic and political power, that that is an oligarchic form of society?
Well, I would note that President Biden gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to two people who I think would qualify for his oligarchs.
Biden gave the Medal of Freedom to George Soros and Mike Bloomberg. He only likes the billionaires who work for him. And Democrats use mob rule to bully these CEOs to their side. If you said what Democrats didn't want to hear, you're canceled. Even if it's the truth, you're canceled. But that's over now. It's hot speech winter. CEOs can say what they want and support whoever they want without getting whacked. And they don't have to pretend to like DEI anymore. Look at these blue chip companies ditching DEI. A few years ago, if you didn't have a diversity officer or tampons in the men's room, your company would get boycotted. Now you get dinner with the president. And Trump's a talker.
He is world-class on real estate and on communications. And those are sort of his foundational skills. And those are, he's world-class on both, which is like probably the first person in the world to be world-class on both of those things, right? The real estate industry is not historically known for its great communicators. Here you've got somebody who does both of those things incredibly well.
47 speaks to something inside successful competitive men. They like what he does, and they like that he says what he wants. And they like his drive and his finesse when there's an obstacle. And when you see a man survive a gunshot and pop back up, that's respect. Men want to be around men like that. And now they're not intimidated by their HR departments. They're the boss. But at the end of the day, all these CEOs really care about is their bottom line. Banks are seeing big profits because companies are optimistic about the economy. CEOs all over the planet are looking to finance big ticket investments here in America. That's good news for everyone. And for Trump to modernize the country and shred Biden's legacy, he's going to need corporate America on his side. If we're going to fight trade wars, we're going to have to reindustrialize. If we're going to capitalize on AI, we're going to need to produce much more energy here at home. And we're going to need young American workers to step up and fight for the American dream. So we're cautiously optimistic about big tech's newfound loyalty. They're saying all the right things, but it's early. These people might just go where the wind blows. And if they want our trust, they have to earn it. Because we can always bust up these big monopolies if they stomp all over our constitutional rights again. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.